Hello, emerging trends. Just wanted to do a quick video showing off progressive web apps and why I was so excited about them and why I chose to study them. So I guess starting off, when we were approached the idea that we could kind of choose any topic for this course, my brain went to so many different ideas. I thought about learning a different language or a different library, or potentially learning some new fancy technology like blockchain or artificial intelligence and machine learning. And being a programmer, there's just so many different options for new things you can learn. And kind of thinking about all that stuff and reflecting back on the schooling I've done at SAIT, I started thinking, well, what if there's a way I could apply the knowledge that I already have in a new and exciting way to solve a new problem for me? And the place I kind of got to was I had never really learned anything with app development, like mobile app development. People approach me and they're like, so what do you learn at SAIT? And I told them all about the Java we learned and the SQL and all that really cool foundational stuff, but I never actually learned anything about apps. And the amount of mobile applications that are in development today and the amount of time people spend on their phones is ridiculous. I know I get my weekly phone report. It always surprises me how much time I'm spending every day on it. Whether it's learning on the phone or just communicating with people, social media and stuff, people spend a ton of time on their phones. And so learning how to develop applications for your phone seems super important to me. So to start kind of learning about it, I had to start from scratch, I guess. So I started looking into, what was the origin of apps and how did those really come to be? And I guess the really interesting thing, where it all started was with the internet. When the internet was created, people started creating applications for the internet that would run in the browser on the server, and the user would, access through their local internet browser. And then after that, I guess the real advent of the smartphone that would have its own applications was when Steve Jobs announced it back in 2007, I think it was. And when he announced the iPhone, he kind of talked about the idea of a web app or something like that, where developers, he was super excited. He was like, developers are just going to be able to really easily create apps for this new phone. It's going to be great. And he was super hyped. And then 4 months after the iPhone was out, they realized this was not going to be possible. And they developed an SDK, which stands for Software Development Kit, for the iPhone. So it's basically a toolbox that they can give to developers to develop apps, native apps for the iPhone. So the definition, native app, is an application that is built for a specific device. So you can build a native application for iOS or Android or any type of operating system out there. You can build a native app for it, and they have a lot of great advantages. They can access all of the cool hardware in the smartphones we have these days, so like geolocation, camera, just any of the sick hardware in a smartphone. And they run super well, and they can be downloaded and they can be used offline, which is a huge benefit because, in Canada especially, there's a lot of communities that don't have normal access or easy access to high-speed internet or good internet, so they need to download things and then use them offline, and that's an absolutely massive market, especially within Canada. And so, I guess these native apps were awesome, and that went on for a while. And then I guess the next big evolution was with, creating a hybrid app. And so kind of in 2014 was when the idea of a service worker was created, which I'll talk about a little bit more later. But in 2015, they created the first progressive web app, and that that term was coined. And they created the first progressive web app. And what progressive web apps allow you to do is develop a web application, and then with the addition of just 2 simple files and a little bit of modifications in the main file, you can basically create an app that you are able to download and will cache data locally and can be accessed offline and update in the background and stuff. The way they kind of accomplished this was with this new file called a service worker. So basically what the service worker is a proxy server that runs between the browser and the actual server, like the web server. So it's just kind of like a middleman in between there. And just kind of going through this file, you kind of create the cache name and you choose which resources you're going to pre-cache. And then you add an event listener. And after you add this event listener, pretty simple. It just downloads this service worker and caches it to main. And it's like a very small file. And I guess there's also like other methods you can add into this service worker. So all the kind of like things that are done very frequently with service workers are all kind of templated out. So if you want to add any of them, it's pretty easy. And then the other file that you need to add to an application to make it a progressive web app is a manifest file. What this manifest file is, it's a JSON file format. And here I just have a little example of it. So within the JSON file, you have all these tags. So the first one's the name. So that's just like the name of the application. And then the short name, which is what would be displayed if you were to like finger over the application on your phone. The start URL is the first thing that's open when somebody opens the app on their phone. And then just like background color, theme color is just some color preferences you can set. Orientation is just the way that the app opens on a mobile application. And then this icon area, it's really interesting. You need to include a bunch of different sizes of icons. So depending on which type of phone or mobile device or iPad or whatever that you download this on, the application can choose which size of icon to download. So you just have to pretty much duplicate this and just set this size. And these sizes here are the pixel dimensions of the icon itself. So once you have that service worker and that manifest file, all you got to add is this method in the main file, which is just an event listener that triggers when the page is loaded. And it just sets up all this stuff, and it sets up the service worker and registers the service worker and basically connects to it. And if that's successful, tells you it's successful. Otherwise it failed, and tries to do it later. So the other really cool thing with Progressive Web App is you can set two kind of preferences on it. So you can either set cache data first or browser side first, which basically means when a user sends a request to the website, you can either tell it, okay, first we're going to just look in the cache data and pull all that data out, or we're going to look at the web first. So you can choose where the application looks first, which is super helpful if you're just setting up your app. So I guess the last thing I wanted to show off was just an example of the Progressive Web App that I've been using for years and didn't even know it was Progressive Web App. And that app was actually Discord. So Discord has become the most popular voice chat amongst the gamer community. And during COVID and stuff, it was just an awesome way to hang out with friends and stay connected to people. So if you see here, I'm just in a normal Google browser. I'm on Discord here. I can click in here and you land on Discord's landing page. And here, already, it prompts you to either download for Windows or open it in your browser. So I'm going to just start my browser to demonstrate that. So if I hit open in the browser, you notice it takes a little bit to load, and then it opens up and I have this Discord app. And, I have all my servers on the side here, general chat, or emerging trends. And I can use the application in my desktop. I don't need to download anything. It's just ready and away I go. But you'll notice up at the top, they actually prompt you to download the application for Windows. And it says, want to take full advantage of it, better performance, in-game overlays, and more. So they prompt you to download it. And once you download it, you'll notice in the bottom here, I have this icon for Discord. And I can click into this, and boom, here's an app version of Discord. So this is, a Windows application that I've downloaded, and it has all of my data here. And the experience is nearly identical to or I would say it is identical to the web browser, except that it adds more functionality, so I can access the camera easier, I can do screen sharing easier, I can use this Discord app as an in-game overlay, so if I want to chat with my friends while I'm in a game or something. And if you notice here, I'm just on the SAIT's esports community. Shout out to them. Awesome place to get connected with other SAIT students in the esports community, and they run all sorts of events and tournaments and stuff. So it's an awesome Discord community. And I guess just as a last thing, the experience is the exact same on my phone. So I don't really have like a good way to record my phone screen, but I don't know if you can kind of see right here. I'm on the Discord app on my phone, and again, it's been adapted to the mobile's like browser, but I can go through on my phone, and it's virtually the exact same experience. And so it's super nice that I can have a consistent experience whether I'm on the browser, in my app, on my phone. Discord works the same everywhere pretty much, and yeah, that's just like some of the power of the progressive web apps. Other really popular progressive web apps are like Twitter and other meta apps, Facebook, YouTube, and there's just a bunch of them out there. And yeah, I guess progressive web apps just have a lot of advantages over a normal application because they're distributed throughout the web. So you don't need to go through the Play Store or anything like that to get a progressive web app. And thanks so much for watching, everybody. Stay tuned for part 2, where I'm going to actually build my own progressive web app and host it on a server and download it on my phone and just demonstrate that. So hope you all have a wonderful day. See you next time.